Hi there, this is Ranjit and I have this Lenovo K3 Note, and in this video we'll be doing the camera review with this device. The K3 Note has a 13 megapixel rear facing camera with dual LED flash, but these flash are of the same color. It's not dual tone but just dual flash. And moving to the front facing camera, it's a 5 megapixel shooter, and I have taken a lot of selfie shots as well as a lot of shots from the rear facing camera and even video. In terms of video, both the front facing and the rear facing can record in 1080p. But before I show you all those sample shots, let me quickly give you an overview of the camera interface so that you can get a better idea. And this is the default interface that you get, and you have the standard tap to focus. And once it focuses, you can take a shot. And the focusing can take about a second, but after that when you press, it takes the shots quickly. But one thing I have noticed is that in artificial lighting and low lighting condition, the focusing can take a lot of time, and when you click the shutter, it can take up to a second or so. So you got to be careful. That's one of the reasons that I've noticed that in low lighting, some of the shots that I took were a little bit blurry. But if you go to the settings, here are the default settings. You can change between the widescreen to 4:3 ratio. You can adjust the white balance, and you have a lot of scenes over here. I did all my testing in auto mode, but you can set the scenes if you would like. You can also adjust the ISO and add the guidelines if you want. As you can see, it can go with the ISO up to 1600. That's pretty high in my opinion. In terms of video, it can take video at a max resolution of 1080p, and you can go down all the way up to standard definition. And let's just go back now. And regarding the modes, we don't get a lot of modes. Oops, this is the preview. Let's go back. As you can see, we have the panorama mode, and we also have some effects, and you can enable these effects and you can see them in real time. So as you can see, so if you are in those artistic, for example, this is the black and white, and as you can see, it took the shot. So let me actually now show you these sample shots in full screen mode so that you can get a better idea regarding the camera performance. These were shot with the rear facing camera of the K3 Note, and as you can see, in outdoor conditions in direct sunlight, the pictures came out to be really good. Even in terms of color accuracy, the pictures are really sharp and clear. Also, we can get a decent amount of bokeh effect even in the auto mode with the rear facing camera. Now, in terms of color accuracy also, I was very satisfied. The colors look accurate. In terms of exposures also, in auto mode, the camera did a very good job. Recording this part of the video with the Lenovo K3 Note at the highest setting possible, that is 1080p. And the audio that you're hearing is also being recorded by the internal microphone of this device. And this is my roof garden, and it's a sunny day. So let's just move. And let me just slowly pan. And again, I'm doing this handheld, so do let me know what do you feel about the video quality. And it's a quite windy day today, so there might be a lot of wind noise. Let me just move to a small object like this, and it's on the continuous autofocus, so if you tap, it's not enabling tap to focus, but you can change that from the settings. So as you can see, if you go very close to an object in the video, it'll be a little bit blurry, so I would say stay almost about 2.5 feet away from the subject. And I'm just going to walk back now normally. So this should give you an idea about the video recording with the Lenovo K3 Note in outdoor conditions. Now these pictures were shot in semi-indoor conditions, and here I would say I had a mixed bag. When there was decent amount of light, even in semi-indoor conditions, the pictures were sharp, as you can see from the sample shots. You can also get some decent depth of field, that is bokeh effect, but if you're not careful, as you can see from these shots, the pictures can be a little bit shaky. So you have to be very careful in artificial lighting. Some more pictures in semi-indoor conditions, and here I was careful not to shake the camera, and as you can see, then you can get some decent shots. Even the flash is pretty powerful, and some more shots, and as you can see, even in indoor lighting, if you are careful, the pictures can come out to be really sharp. Now these pictures were shot in completely artificial lighting in my office, and I would say here it did a okay job, not extraordinary but just okay job. As you can see, the pictures are decent even in artificial lighting, but there is a fair bit of noise. And again, you got to be really careful in artificial lighting, otherwise the pictures can come out to be blurry. The flash is not very aggressive. Here I enabled the flash, and as you can see, this picture is a lot sharper, and this was taken without the flash, and the picture is really soft. Again, here there was a little bit of camera shake, but again I took the picture and this came out sharp. So you have to be very careful in artificial lighting. Shooting this video again with the front facing camera of the Lenovo K3 Note. Again, this is in my office and this is in completely artificial light. Right now I have just one tube light lit on. Let us actually switch on one more light. And as you can see now, actually it does a lot better, but even with the single tube light right now, we just have a single tube light. I feel it did actually pretty good. So do let me know what do you feel about the front facing camera of this Lenovo K3 Note. Now some sample shots with the front facing camera, and here also I feel the camera did a very good job for a front facing camera. And yes, it does pretty good in outdoor lighting conditions, but when we move to indoor lighting conditions, there is a little bit of noise in the pictures with the front facing camera. Recording this part of the video footage with the front facing camera of the Lenovo K3 Note, and by default it will be at 720p, but within the settings you can change it to 1080p. I'm recording it at 1080p, and again, as you can see, this is in outdoor conditions. So what do I feel about the camera performance of this Lenovo K3 Note? As you have seen from the sample shots, the rear facing camera is actually very good, and in outdoor conditions the pictures that it took were very sharp. I also like the color accuracy. In terms of color accuracy, it was accurate, and most of the shots in outdoor conditions were very nice. But when we move to indoor lighting conditions and in artificial lighting, I did notice that it does take quite a bit of time for the shutter. Hence, you got to be careful, otherwise the shots can come out to be blurry. So for pictures that you take in artificial lighting and indoor lighting, you got to be a little bit careful, otherwise the pictures would come out to be a little blurry if you don't toggle on the flash. Also, when I kept the flash on auto mode, particularly in low lighting condition and semi-indoor conditions, the flash did not fire at times. So sometimes I had to manually toggle it on. When we move to the front-facing camera, the front-facing camera performance was actually very good, I would say, for a budget-oriented device. It has a 5-megapixel shooter, and I would say the front-facing camera did a pretty good job. Yes, in low lighting conditions, particularly in indoor conditions, there was a little bit of noise in the pictures, but overall the front facing camera performance was satisfactory. Now if we move to the video performance, even in terms of video, the 1080p video from the rear facing camera was actually very good and sharp in my opinion, but again, it does not have any optical image stabilization, so if you move a little bit, the video will come out to be a little bit shaky. Now if we move to the front facing camera, again the video from the front facing camera was also very good. So in terms of camera performance, I would say it's definitely a leg up compared to the other Lenovo phones that I have reviewed. For example, the Lenovo A6000 Plus or even the Lenovo A7000. And considering the price point of this K3 Note, that's around 10,000. I do feel that the camera performance on this device is pretty good. But again, in low lighting conditions, yes, it does tend to struggle up a little bit. I'll also be posting the full in-depth review for this K3 Note very soon. So stay tuned to my channel. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit and I hope to see you in my next video.